time. Okay, let's go. Just gonna go down there. Jump. There we go. Still not sure what those are actually for, but they save. Mega Serval. Have you ever thought to yourself, man, I really wish I could play with that there Mega Man fella, but I don't have any money. And those legacy collections are overpriced. And I'd have to buy them twice to get the entire legacy those collections contain. And those legacy collections don't even contain the entire legacy of those collections. Or even the bits of the collections that came out 20 years prior. And for some reason, they still are determined to give us the absolute worst versions of every game on these collections ever. And bafflingly enough, the Steam version of Legacy Collection 2 doesn't even have cutscenes in Mega Man 8. Seriously, it doesn't have any cutscenes, especially an ending cutscene, so it ends with Mega Man being infected by evilness and then smash cut to credits. I'm still baffled by this. Well, at the very least, I guess this gives us a canon reason as to why there was an evil Mega Man in the Wonder Swan game. And I guess Quint, he was an evil Mega Man too. He had a pogo stick. If those are your thoughts, welcome to my brain. But also, Mega Serval is here to help because it's completely free. And it's a pretty awesome Mega Man style game. And that was an incredibly long walk to get basically nowhere. And I'm keeping it. Mega Serval is a fan project based on Kemono Friends, which is an anime I actually did bother to watch a season of before recording this. You're welcome. And after one episode, I kind of had this weird feeling about the whole thing. Like, this anime is definitely based on a bad mobile game, and like everything ever, I was right. Which, on the bright side, does mean that Mega Serval, by definition of actually just being a game, makes it functionally better than its source material. There isn't really much of a story to this game, but you play as the titular Serval, looking for her friend Kaban, who has disappeared. You have 9 different stages, each guarded by a different Kemono friend, that once you manage to defeat them, they seem to relinquish some sort of evil energy that's been possessing them. Oh my god, I just got it. Mega Serval 2 is going to be a stealth tie-in to Mega Man 8B, which is going to explain why Mega Man was infected by evil energy, but somehow managed to get into Mega Man 9, or was also evil in the Wonder Swan games, and was also Quint with his pogo stick. This is the best now official Mega Man game ever because it's now in the canon. And it's all thanks to Capcom completely butchering Mega Man 8. A third time. Either way, you have to go help 8 Kemono friends, and aw, if you select Serval, she blushes. That's cute. Although, I don't recognize a couple of these characters from the first season. This could be my terrible memory going, but I don't recognize Birds of Paradise, Vampire Bat, or Rock Python. Off Serval goes to go jump and shoot, using her shooty claws that she now has, I guess, her way through all of Japari Park to go and save her friends and find her bestest friend ever to save the day from the evil energy that was a prominent feature in the mobile games, I guess. Mega Man! Every single stage has bespoke enemies, environments, and hazards to give every single level its own unique flavor and feel and personality. Frequently, you'll run into the raccoon and the fennec fox just having random adventures and being silly, which helps to lend a huge sense of personality and goofiness to this game. There is a ton of bespoke animation and stuff that just makes every character feel alive and real. I really like when Serval enters the stage and she does her little flourish thing. That's cute. I like it a lot. The overall stages themselves are not terribly difficult for the most part. In fact, spikes don't even kill you, they just do some damage, which is remarkably beginner-friendly. This is a very beginner-friendly Mega Man-style game for the most part. And if the game is proving to be still too hard, every stage has a hidden bottle of Rainbow Ramune, which, in addition to having a little marble in it and being delicious, will increase Serval's health, making her adventure a little bit easier, as well as giving you some reward for exploring the more secretive nooks and crannies. And some of these are actually pretty tricky to find, but if you've explored an NES game, you know a few tricks of the trade by now. And if not, well, this is your intro to them, I guess. While the stages are by and large pretty well made and relatively simple, there are 1 or 2 areas that I've found to be a little bit questionable. There's one particular room where you're fighting against a changing wind. I died in this one room more than anywhere else in the game. I'm not afraid to admit it. This room was frustrating. And the other really awkward thing. It's not even really bad, it's just more of an annoyance than anything. But when you get to the end of the game and you get to the Robot Master teleporters, if you lose at any point during those Robot Masters, you don't respawn in the teleporter room. No, you respawn like 3 rooms before it. And it's not like those are hard rooms to get back to, but it's an annoyance to have to trek those 3 rooms back just to get back to the boss fights, you know? That's not so good. On the bright side, if you do lose on the Robot Master teleporters, they don't actually make you go through the fights again that you cleared. Those remain cleared forever, which is fairly player friendly, especially in regards to the player's time. To help make this game even easier, there's actually no end to how many lives you can play. You can die as many times as you want if you're having trouble or you pick the wrong boss and you don't have a weapon, so you can just try and figure out their pattern. It's very, very friendly, but it is also incredibly approachable from a more hardcore perspective. While the game itself is relatively easy, every single stage will actually mark off a time trial record to see how fast you've gone through. So if you want to play this game really well, you're going to have to practice a whole bunch. But at the same time, it's approachable from anyone, really, but it also very much has something there for experts and speedrunners, which is appreciated. The weapon selection as well is quite impressive. I don't think any Mega Man fan will be wanting for Robot Master weapon selection. So you have your claws, of course, but then you have a super-powered punch that will lunge you forward, even in midair. A screen-clearing bomb, as brought to you by the Crested Ibis. Spread shot, which, spread shot is always cool in every game ever. An aerial dive, which will help you avoid certain enemies, as well as creating shockwaves. That's a really powerful and cool attack. A boomerang attack, which will help you do double damage to enemies. And heck, it even has a shield, just like actual Mega Man. But unlike actual Mega Man, if we ignore Junk Shield, the shield in this game is actually pretty awesome, and it's also got a projectile function to it, so it actually pulls double duty. The weapons in this game are actually pretty varied and awesome. And because we couldn't just make this a Mega Man style game, there's even a Castlevania whip. Sure, and that Castlevania-esque whip? Well, it fits right in with the back Vampire Bats stage. Is entirely an illusion of Castlevania. It's a fun little throwback. I like that. There's even a Metal Blade XP, at least insofar as there's a weapon that can one-shot the last who drops it. That's pretty fun. That's a nice little throwback. And while a fair few of them are, not every single weapon is a projectile attack. Sure, many of them are, but some of them have some sort of utilitarian movement purpose, which means that the way to get around the environment was always in the forefront of the developer's mind. They really wanted to utilize your abilities as more than just the thing you use on the boss. Sure, that's still the primary reason you'd ever use them, and pretty much the only reason I use them, but some of them did help you modify where you were. They helped you get around a little bit. It was clever. There was more than just surface level thought on these weapons, and I appreciate that. And Serval can not only fire Robot Master weapons, but in a page taken from the much broken Mega Man 8, you can fire both a Robot Master weapon as well as your standard Buster, laser / claws at the same time, which means you can have 2 weapons on you at any one point, as well as quick swap whenever. There is tons of quality of life implementations here thought out to the fans of Mega Man. Clearly the person who made this had a lot of experience with the series and knew exactly what to do to make the smoothest, most enjoyable experience possible. This clearly looks like the work of passion, and for a free game, it does it incredibly well. It even managed to throw 1 or 2 twists my way I was not expecting. This game really does it right. The overall presentation to Mega Serval is excellent. The pixel art here is beautiful. Every single stage looks varied and different, and I love it. There's tons of throwbacks to classic Mega Man, both in enemies as well as visual things you'll notice in the stage. There's tons of cute little animations that are bespoke to every single character. The little wolf girl wagging her tail made me laugh a whole bunch, made me think of Shantae a little bit. And visually, there's just tons of references in the characters themselves to the show, such as Crested Ibis's weapon being her inability to sing, being a horrible screen-clearing bomb. It's funny, and it clearly shows that there was an attention to detail for both the properties and consideration for the medium they were working in. Whenever there's a different character that's a background character, they're always doing something fun and interesting, which really makes this world pop and feel alive. The color choices are excellent as well. There's even a few little details that really do hit home just how quality this game is. Sure, when you swap weapons, Serval will change colors to indicate what weapon she has equipped, but a few of them she'll actually take the traits of the person she got them from. For example, if you take the wolf ability, suddenly Serval will be heterochromic just like the wolf. Or if you take the Margay's power, suddenly she's wearing glasses. Modifying a sprite to have little details like this really doesn't take that much time or effort, really, in the grand scheme of things, but it just shows how much effort and passion went into this that really does feel like they cared about what they were doing, and leads to beautiful visuals. And the audio is just fantastic. The soundtrack is utterly amazing. Why is this not available on Steam as a download? I would love to download the soundtrack to this. It is so good. Really, the presentation for this game is top notch, and it puts actual Mega Man to shame in some places. It's really, really good, and it just shows how much of a passion project this game was, and how much they wanted to nail the feel of Mega Man, and they did an excellent job of it. Now, if you want a copy of Mega Serval on Steam, okay, go get it. It's free. No one's stopping you. In fact, I recommend you get it because not only is it free, but if you're new to Mega Man, this is a relatively easy to get into game. It's not too challenging for the most part, and because it is free, it's readily available, and it's a way to test the waters to see if Mega Man's really something for you. And if you're not very good or you're unsure, well, it's easy enough that you should be able to get into it with very little issues. It's a very, very player-friendly game, and it was well thought out and very well made. But like I said, there's also some speedrun challenges and achievements to collect if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more. Nothing too difficult here and there, but you know, if you're a more hardcore Mega Man player, you'll still probably enjoy this. It just won't be that much of a challenge to you. Overall, Mega Serval for a free game is way better than it has any right to be. It is an absolutely fantastic throwback to NES platforming. It's a great retro platformer, it's an amazing Mega Man game, and seriously, I want more of these games. More free Mega Man, because actual Mega Man, anything that Capcom does at this point is a horrible money-grubbing embarrassment more than anything. But you know what? This just goes to show just how passion, experience, and know-how from someone can create something great. The developer very clearly cared about Mega Man and presumably Kemono Friends. I mean, I've seen enough to get the references and stuff. Clearly, they cared about these two subjects, and I mean, they made something pretty great. I mean, heck, it's the best Kemono Friends game out there. I mean, it's the best one on Steam. I think there's like 3, and the other 2 are like these weird, seemingly very cheap Unity things. Play Mega Serval, it's good. It's like actual Mega Man, you know, when Capcom had respect for its players and its IPs. Go. That's the end of that room. That was the last jump, and I completely butchered it.